Hello and welcome to Network and happy 2023. It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. This week our Twitter poll is looking at a survey that found that almost half of young people all the way down to the age of 12 say they don't like their bodies and they attribute this to social media. So our poll is asking you if you ever check your children's activity on social media. Results of that are coming up later in the program. My name is Sphumelele Zondi. Here's what's coming up in this particular program. We look at issues of the Metaverse and NFTs. We find out about a tech initiative in education. And in our conversation, we chat about the technology and legalities around installing solar panels and other renewables. During hard lockdowns, NFTs were costing a huge amount of money. That price has dropped somewhat, but they're still incredibly important in order for things to live in the metaverse. We all experience life in the real world, but gaming, virtual reality, and augmented reality sometimes allow us to experience things in digital spaces. The Metaverse wants us to have bigger digital lives. Many in the tech world have bought into this. Think about Facebook Inc. relaunching as Meta.
We are now in the era of blockchain. We are now in the era of the Metaverse. We are now in the era of Web3. So we are now taking these steps that we have as a collection, converting them into becoming a digital asset.
In the metaverse, you can own wild animals like lions, something that's unlikely in the real world. You can buy expensive pieces of art, but you need non-fungible tokens or NFTs to do that. Soweto-born artist Fatiwani Mukeri is making his works available for purchase for the metaverse.
There's a virtual world right now. People are buying land in it, and your art can be on those walls.
He's selling it through a platform called The Tree, which is South African owned. It's said to be eco-friendly.
So whereas, one blockchain like Ethereum is using, computing power to process transaction by transaction, this blockchain that we're going with called Polygon, and basically it uses, a fraction of that by processing a lot of transactions at once instead of one at a time.
It's not just in South Africa that artists are exploring NFT technology. Elsewhere in Africa, in Nigeria, Abdul Rahman Yusuf says NFTs allow him to sell more pieces of art than he otherwise would.
People didn't look at art like this before in Nigeria. People really do not care about art. But as they've seen how, like in the Western world, how it can be an investment.
The first tweet by founder Jack Dorsey sold for $2.9 million as an NFT. This is just one example of how much these digital tokens can go for to be used only in digital spaces in the metaverse. Tech is changing the way education is done, and it can't not. And a lot of companies are adding their weight behind tech in education. Huawei is also doing the same.
We're gathered here to celebrate the Huawei ICT Academy. Today marks the annual Huawei ICT Talent Development Awards ceremony. So in short, the ICT Academy is a partnership between Huawei and the universities and TVET colleges. We go out and firstly we train the trainer, we train the lecturers themselves to understand our solutions and put them in a position where they are comfortable to then teach and facilitate that program. After the lecturers have reached that point, they then add our solution certificates to the curriculum that the students are already undertaking. And so the idea is that when the students graduate, they not only leave with a degree or a diploma, but also with an internationally recognized ICT certificate that they can take anywhere in the world and into the workplace.
The Tshwane University of Technology became the first university to partner with Huawei, specifically from Sub-Sahara region. We took this initiative with both hands simply because we have observed the advantages or the exposure or the benefits out of the program, simply because when we've realized the program is that it has to do with bridging or upskilling, bringing the relevant skills, especially from the fourth industrial revolution. We have realized that between the university and the industry, there is such kind of a gap. So we took this initiative with both hands, whereby when we have partnered, we started to open classes where we had to certify some of our students on routing and switching. And luckily, by the time it was introduced, there was what we call ICT skills competition that was organized at regional, at national, and also at international level.
At colleges, we offer ICT programs, and Huawei is somehow an improvement of what we offer, so that our students offering or our curriculum offering relates to industry. So when Huawei come into picture, our students are able to learn real live ICT programs that are needed by industry.
Let's go to East Africa now to find out how musicians over there are utilizing technology in what they do.
Grammy-nominated Kenyan musician Bien Aime Alusa gyrates on stage as he sings to a bank of swaying fans, many capturing the moment on their mobile phones. When the curtain drops on the concert in Nairobi, Alusa keeps making connections and profit through a digital streaming and payment platform, Hustle Sasa, which he co-founded to help artists recover from revenues lost to the coronavirus lockdown. Hustle Sasa, which officially launched in November 2021, allows the singer-songwriter and fellow creatives to stream music or sell branded merchandise, concert tickets, food, fashion, and other services in one mobile phone application.
We realized the issue is that there's a lot of fragmentation within the solutions that exist for creatives. So why do I need to sell different product types on different applications, right? Why can't I sell my merch in one place, my music in one place, a centralized part for that, right? I think another thing is that it's really complicated because your services are spread out. So if you want your data on how your tickets are moving versus your music itself versus the merch, you have to go through all these different platforms to access that data. It's not all centralized and it can't give you a bird's eye view of the business. I think also the last thing is that it's really expensive because creatives are tied to the commissions set by these platforms, right? A lot of these platforms are not Africa-centric, they're not localized, so they charge a minimum 30% commission for you to use their platform. That can't really fly for creators in Africa because just as the industry is picking up, we need to have something that is more aligned to what's available for us, economically.
Artists or vendors sell their products directly to the market with no setup costs or monthly fees and receive payment instantly via bank card or mobile money, avoiding expensive commissions charged by some apps.
It takes a while on those platforms to build because even how they're billing it is disadvantaged to East Africa. Our region has one of the lowest payout rates in the world from other streaming platforms. But on Hustle Sasa, you're getting value for money in real time. You can't go and withdraw your YouTube cash immediately at your own leisure.
Alusa said he is in talks to spread operations across the continent, from Ghana to South Africa.
We're speaking to other artists across the continent. We've been speaking to Sarkodie in Ghana, to Stoneboy in Ghana. We're speaking to SABC in South Africa to see how we can partner and combine all our data as artists for the betterment of the music industry. I have a lot of faith with the future of Hustle Sasa and where we are headed, because it's the future of ticketing, it's the future of merch and selling merch, it's the future where we are going to have the power and the control in our hands.
SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. After the break, we chat about renewable energy, the technology, and legalities around it. It's SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Welcome back. Now, South Africa has been hit with heightened load shedding. That has led to a lot of people considering going renewables. And President Cyril Ramaphosa has even touched on the subject in the past, where he urged South Africans to start thinking about this. But does the country, or perhaps does Eskom have the right capacity for everybody to be on renewables? To talk to us about this is Lindo Ngema, who is the founder of Prominent Energy Solutions. Hello, and thank you very much for being a part of our network, Lindo. Maybe if you can start by explaining whether South Africa has the right capacity for everybody to be on renewables.
Yes, indeed. South Africa has more than enough sun for everybody to be on renewable. We can all have solars. We have enough wind for everybody to be on renewable, and it can help a lot in terms of strengthening our grid, because the more people go solar or go on renewable, the less pressure we will have on our network or on our grid, and we will have less incidents of load shedding as a result.
What's needed? What do we need for people to be on renewables?
In most cases, or most of the installations you see around South Africa, they are grid-tied solar system. We do need the grid when you're putting up your solar, because you can imagine your solar will basically produce electricity during sun hours. You still need to have batteries that you're going to put up so that during the day when you have your sun, you'll be charging your batteries. I'm talking on a most residential solar system. They've got solar inverter and batteries, where the solar during the day generate your electricity and you charge your batteries, so that after sun hours, you can use the electricity from your batteries to energize your house. And also, you do have some rainy days, cloudy days. Sometimes you can take up a lot more energy at night, that you may need the grid to charge up your batteries just a little bit before the sun comes up the next day, so that you can keep going. But the whole system or initiative is having such a positive impact to our grid. In other words, if more and more people can go solar, really load shedding could be something of the past.
All right, so you touch on the fact that everybody needs to be on the Eskom grid for solar to eventually happen. Do we then need to inform the municipality or inform Eskom itself?
You're touching such a really serious subject. I know a lot of people, for lack of a better word, maybe let me put it this way, 99%, if not 98, maybe 98 or 97 of the solar system connected around South Africa, I would say they are illegal solar system. Why am I saying that? Because they haven't reported these installations to the network owner. It could be Eskom, it could be municipality, wherever they are. So the right way of putting solar is to start by doing what we call an SSEG application, small scale embedded generation. You apply to your local municipality or Eskom to tell them, look, this is the size system I want to put up in my house or in my business. They regulate the system. This is for safety reason, not to basically it's not to really just oppress the end user, but it's just to make sure, because sometimes some of the system that people put, they've got a potential of feeding back. Let's say you put a solar system up in your house. Your solar system can be feeding back to the grid without even you knowing. You are at work, there's nobody at home, and you've got 16 panels sitting on your roof, and it's only your fridge running during the day, and your batteries are fully charged. Sometimes if the inverter is not right, your solar panels could be pushing power back into the network. In other words, your meter could be turning the other direction, meaning that your production from your solar panel is going back to Eskom or municipality network. And if you do not report your system and they do not know about it, it means that if municipality, for example, send a technician to come and work on your streets, on the lines, the technician's life could be in danger, because they could switch off all of the isolators they know, thinking the lines are off, and yet there's still some power coming back from your house back into the network. So it affects the voltage on the other end if people go ahead and put solar without reporting. So when you report it, it's just a matter of municipality or Eskom to know what size system you have, what breakers are you using. Is it a protective system? Will it not be sending back to the network? If it does send back to the network, does it send the right amount so that it can always work hand in hand with the network that is already existing in whichever location that you are? So yes, to be precise, you do need to inform ESCOM or municipality, whenever you're putting a solar system, there is what we call an SSEG application that you need to do. It's get approved, then you can go ahead and put your panels on the roof.
Can we get into trouble if we don't inform them?
Okay, so yes, if you don't inform them, it is an offense, I'll put it that way. But obviously, because a lot of people have installed system without knowing, what I would say, I would urge those people to report the system so that municipality and ESCOM will start regulating them. So that because remember, when technicians go out on site to investigate a fault, they've got some single line diagram or a bit of some drawing of the network where they're going. And they know all the isolators, all the point of supply. They know which side is electricity coming for and which side is going. So if there's some energy coming out of your house that have not been reported, they may think that they've isolated everything is off, and there could be some electricity that could be coming out of your house back into the network, and it means that that person can even die from whatever you're producing inside your house, and you are not using at that particular time, and you're sending it back to the network. So if you inform them, they're gonna know within their network that in this particular house, your house has so much system and you're drawing X amount of energy in the house, and if you happen to produce an excessive amount of power, it could be X amount that you can send back to the grid.
And let's say I want to convert today. What do I do? Where do I go for this to happen?
It's simple. If you want to put up solar, you just need to contact companies like our company, Prominent Energy or Prominent Solutions. You get a quote, you just buy your panels. You obviously need to design your system to size it, the correct size system. And then, any company can do it. You just go ahead, put the panels on your house. But obviously, municipality has to know, or ESCOM has to know that you're putting up a system so that you would survive load shedding. And you can also reduce your bill from solar panel. So I think everybody needs solar panel at this time. The country needs it, individual needs it.
All right, and how easy is the process when we now start involving the municipality? Does it take longer than the people that you say are not doing it the right way, for example?
So if you're doing it the right way, yes, there are delays, but obviously, like from our side, because it's the process that we do every day with a lot of customers, we try to make sure that we handle the process on behalf of the customer.
All right, Lindo Ngema, thank you very much for being a part of our network. That's Lindo Ngema, who is the founder of Prominent Energy Solutions. It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Stay with us. SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Welcome back. Here's what else took place in the rest of the world in the tech space.
Hundreds of Egyptian school children gathered in the Grand Egyptian Museum to turn piles of Lego blocks into renewable energy structures. From wind turbines to cars powered by solar energy, teams of children aged 4 to 6 competed in the first Lego League Discover.
كانت تجربة مميزة جدا للأطفال إن هم يعرفوا كمان إيه مصادر الطاقة المتجددة، يعني إيه أصلا renewable energies، يفهموها كمان من خلال الليجوز إن هم ازاي يركبوا كمان التوربينات وبشكل مفصل أكتر كمان أنواع الطاقات المتجددة. فدي كانت تجربة بصراحة عظيمة قوي للأطفال من سن 5 ل 7 سنين إن هم يقدروا إن هم يعرفوا كل ده، وكمان يشاركوه كمان في المجتمع في المستقبل إن شاء الله.
400 pupils were divided into 80 teams of 5 from 9 Egyptian governorates. Each team had 3 months to think of the idea and train ahead of the competition. And now in the USA. The annual Consumer Electronics Show opened its doors last week, where members of the media, visitors, and vendors gathered at the popular Las Vegas Technology Convention Week. There, a newly United States FDA-approved electromagnetic massage chair that costs nearly $10,000 put visitors in a relaxed state.
About 15% of hospital visitors have neck and back pain. So if you see these numbers, you get the big picture. If you use this on as 20 minutes per day for 2 weeks, you see the huge difference.
Still at the CES. Rideshare drivers and passengers can now look out for the new Ridecare Companion, a device that consists of a connected camera, a wireless SOS button, and cloud-based services. This is an innovation announced by the German technology and engineering company Bosch at this year's CES.
Here at CES, we are presenting a new sensor-based innovation to enhance safety for drivers as well as passengers in ride-sharing context. Our new Ridecare Companion is a full-service hardware and software solution consisting of a connected camera, a wireless SOS button, and cloud-based services. It goes beyond just recording footage. In case of need, remote operators can view inside the vehicle and provide active help. At the moment, we are envisioning it as a valuable safety net for gig drivers, but maybe in the future more. Let's look at it.
Last year, Bosch unveiled the Dryad SilverNet, a wildfire early detection system. This year, executives revealed that the Dryad unit detected its first wildfire in a field in Germany, allowing a swift and effective response from local firefighters. CES has been running from Thursday, January 5th to Sunday, January 8th.
There's a new study that's found that children as young as the age of 12 say they don't like their bodies, and this is attributed to social media and what they see on social media. So this week, Out to the Poll is asking you if you ever monitor your children's activity online. And that's it. So that's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email from me, Spumelele Zondi, and the rest of the team. Bye-bye. Happy New Year.